And there it happens. There we go. Spain have reached the World Cup final. And I'll be honest, that is the worst French performance I have seen in a very long time. This is French. This is the French's first big game, their first big test, and they faced adversity very quickly, very early in the game, and it was very one-sided. Like Spain dominated France the whole game, from minute one to minute zero. It was all Spain. I didn't see any way France would get back to this game unless we saw what they did against Argentina, where that game France were not good for 80 minutes, and then suddenly it's 2-2. Suddenly they have life, but they don't have that impact. The subs didn't have that impact when they came on to even bring them hope, because this Spain team, they can dominate very well. They can dominate with the ball. They can dominate even without the ball. And they beat France very convincingly. I did warn people. I did say in my preview about this game that Spain's midfield is stronger than France's midfield. And usually the midfield is where it's won. And Spain have won in the midfield very easily, because I looked at the comparisons. And this was Spain without even Pedri in the pitch. Without Marino. They had Fabio Ruiz, they had Rodri, they had who else? Who else is there? Rodri, Fabio Ruiz, Damiomo, and they've looked so convincing. They looked so great for 90 minutes. I have to give my respects to Spain. I did say, that midfield was going to be won, but I did say it was going to be a draw, go to penalties, but France, they didn't even give us a game to get to that point. They didn't give us a game at all. I think, Spain, they deserve their flowers. They deserve their flowers because they have, even the Euros, they looked so dominant, so convincing. And they faced this France team like very often as well in the past, and they have beaten France 5-4 recently, where that was like, it says 5-4, it looks like a close game, but I watched that game. It was very dominant for Spain in that game as well. And the front four was relatively the exact same. This was humiliation for France. Spain deserves all their flowers, deserves all the praise for, that defensive record that they have. To keep that France attack at bay for 90 minutes, to not let them even get chances like that. Because Mbappe, his chances, his shots were from outside the box, free kicks. That's how you know Spain were different level in defense today. They were soft in defense. And, I have to give them respects. They deserve all the flowers. So now we have to talk about France. Now we have to talk about that France team. Now we have to ask questions. Because this is their first big game, by the way. This is their first big test. Every team they played throughout the tournament, they were the favorites. They were the stronger side. Overall, they had the advantages. But this was the first one where they played against a team that has depth as well. And look what happened. Look what happened, bro. This was the most one-sided game I've ever seen in the World Cup, arguably, from big games, big teams. Like France, they didn't give anyone hope. They didn't give any French fans hope. They didn't give his coach hope, because the coach, we can always, cook this coach, say, he has no tactics. We can question this guy. He's won the World Cup, yes, but sometimes, big games, tactically, he's a bit questionable. I can't lie. He's a bit questionable. But I'm looking at that squad, and it looks like France's weakness is that midfield. It is that midfield, unfortunately, for them. And it got exposed. It got exposed badly. Tchouameni was there, stinky. Rabiot was there, stinky. Kone came on. Didn't know he was mid. The subs from France, all of them were good. None of them did anything good. Cherki came on, was a ghost, was doing absolutely nothing. And he's supposed to be the guy that's supposed to help France get back to the game, help France give them life. Did absolutely nothing when he came on. Doué did nothing when he came on. We had to question Doué for France. Has he turned up for France in the big game before? I don't think he has. Dembele for France. We need to talk about him as well. Has he turned up in a big game for France? Like Barcola, he hasn't turned up a big game for France. Like all these players I'm saying, they all come from one club. I don't want to start any drama, but PSG, French, looks like, are these players, a system player? Are they system players? Because under Enrique, they're all looking great, all looking amazing under Enrique, but when it's a different coach, when it's France, when it's for country, they might have turned up in the lesser games, the smaller games, the smaller nations, but for the big test where it shows who you are, shows, are you really him? They don't show up, they ghost. And Mbappe, you could say to him, he hasn't any service this game, but even him, he wasn't great either. It wasn't his day either. And it's crazy, France got destroyed like that. They got dominated like that. It's surprising, and it's not surprising in a way, because I did say that midfield was the key. That's why it's not surprising. And it's surprising because France didn't give anything to give any French fans hope out there. And yeah, that's France. They got out very badly. And yeah, that's my thoughts about this game. Congratulations to Spain for reaching the World Cup final for the first time since 2010, which that's a long time for a country like Spain. But yeah, they're in the final. Now we're going to find out, tomorrow who's going to be the other team that makes the final against Spain.